It's been a year since Helene, but in Buncombe County, the water crisis still feels like it was yesterday. Nearly 70% of Buncombe County experienced zero water flowing until an emergency bypass line came back online.
Repairs have been made, but Asheville's system remains fragile, a major storm away from new problems. News 13's Jennifer Emmert looks at how partners are working to protect the water supply for the future.
We couldn't get water to anybody, basically north of the Blue Ridge Parkway, until we had that bypass reconnected.
When the bypass came online in mid-October, heavily chlorinated, still undrinkable water was a welcome sight. Over the last year, many repairs have been made, but the city of Asheville still faces a delicate balance to keep water flowing.
Our watersheds and our reservoirs are completely different than they were on September the 26th last year.
That's a problem with several months left in hurricane season and the threat of a big winter storm still ahead.
North Fork lost about 15% of its canopy during Helene, and so that will lead to a 20-fold increase in the amount of things like sediment that will flow into our reservoir during something like a moderate weather event.
It's even worse at the Bee Tree Reservoir, where 35% tree canopy loss means 50 times more sediment in the water during weather events.
In the wake of Helene, the sediment, the turbidity that came from the loss of tree cover, the loss of protected buffers around the watershed, the landslides created probably one of the biggest concerns for residents in this area, which was the lack of clean, clear water.
Rusty Painter and Aaron Flannery work with the Conservation Trust for North Carolina, one partner in the effort to ensure the watershed around Buncombe County's water source remains protected.
These scars will remain for quite a while, but the city's doing great work to heal the places where they need to be healed and stabilized and fixed to protect the quality of the water.
Cleaning up fallen trees and landslide scars across 17,000 acres in the short term is impossible.
Long term, forests are great at healing themselves. That's the beauty of land conservation, is we protect the forests as they are and allow those natural processes to react to these horrible natural events. And it can deal with itself better than most people might think.
The city and the Conservation Trust for North Carolina have been working with forest managers to identify places of concern.
One of the things that we're seeing, regionally is with so many banks of rivers and streams being, moved away and eroded, water's starting to come faster, sediment's starting to come more. So we need to be, partnered with the professionals that know how to treat some of these water issues.
That's why the focus is on other tools to keep water flowing, like the temporary systems the Army Corps of Engineers set up after Helene, plate settlers that help filter out sediment from the water.
That really, really underscores how critical it is for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers system that's in place at both North Fork and Bee Tree to remain in place until we have a permanent treatment solution.
The city is also working on new safeguards, including a bypass line on a different path from the river and existing transmission lines, along with added treatment capacity.
It's a fourth treatment plant that's in West Asheville.
Fixes that take time and money and leave the water system vulnerable to outages and other risks indefinitely.
Limit sedimentation that comes along with landslides and degradation of forests. It is our responsibility to help them as good partners and to bring in other partners to help them.
To harden Asheville's water system, the city estimates it could cost between $500 and $600 million. The city has applied for FEMA public assistance grants and other funding, but still that work could take up to 9 years. In Asheville, Jennifer Emmert, News 13.